Hello everyone, you're welcome back again. We're going to solve for the value of x from this given equation. We're given that x multiplied by x multiplied by x minus x multiplied by x is equal to 100. Then we're asked to solve for all the possible value of x that will satisfy this equation, whether real or a complex solution. Now let's start. The first, in the left hand side of this equation, we have x multiplied by x multiplied by x. When you do the multiplication, it's going to give us x raised to the power of 3. Then minus x multiplied by x is the same as x to the power of 2, which is equal to 100. So the next thing we're going to observe, if you observe here, we have x cubed and here is x squared. So we have x to power 3, which is x cubed, minus x squared, which is equal to 100 can also be written as what? 125 minus 25, so that this 125 is a perfect cube and this 25 is a perfect square. Now the next thing we're going to do is to convert this 125 into a cubic expression, and also we write 25 into a square. So we're going to have x to power 3 minus x to power 2, which is equal to 125 is the same as 5 raised to the power of 3, because 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 in 3 places is going to give us 125. Then minus 25 is the same as 5 raised to the power of 2, because 5 squared implies 5 multiplied by 5, which is the same as 25. So the next thing we're going to do, here we have 5 cube and this is 5 square. So we're going to combine the like term, the cube with cube and the square with square. So we're going to have x raised to the power of 3. When we take this 5 cube to the left hand side, become negative 5 cube. Then here we have negative x to power 2. And when we take this negative 5 square to the left hand side, it's going to become positive 5 square. So everything will be equal to 0 because there's nothing left in the right hand side. Now the next thing we're going to do, here we have difference of cube. Now I want to make this one to be difference of square. So now we're going to have x to power 3 minus 5 to the power of 3 minus, to make this one to be different, remember difference implies minus. To bring minus here, that means we are going to put this into bracket. So we are going to have minus x squared minus 5 to power 2, so that when this minus multiplied by this minus is going to still give us positive. So everything will be equal to 0. Now we have x squared minus 5 squared in the bracket. Also we group the first term so that we can have difference of cube and difference of square. Now we're going to recall that when we have a to power 3 minus b to power 3, this can be simplified as what? A minus b, then multiplied by a squared plus ab plus b squared. And similarly also, when we have a to power 2 minus b to the power of 2, which is difference of 2 square, this can be simplified as what? A minus b, then multiplied by a plus b. So we're going to apply this property to the first bracket, and the second bracket we apply the second property. So this is in form of this. Now to convert into this form, we are going to have a minus b is going to be what? X minus 5, then multiply by what? A square. Our a is x, is going to be x squared, plus ab is going to be 5 and x is going to be 5x, then plus b squared is going to be 5. So we're going to have 5 squared. Now minus, now we're going to apply the second property to this difference of 2 square. In form of this is going to be what? X minus 5, then x plus 5. So everything will be equal to 0. So the next thing we're going to do is to check, this is one side and this is the second, this is the first term, this is the second term. We want to see, do we have anything in common in both terms? Now if you look at the first term, we have x minus 5, and also the second term we have x minus 5 also. So therefore x minus 5 is common. So we're going to factor out x minus 5, then when we do that, we are going to open a mother bracket. This x minus 5 is outside already. It will remain only x squared plus 5x plus 5 squared is the same as 25. Now, minus. Now here x minus 5 is outside already. It will remain only x plus 5. So everything will be equal to 0. So now we're going to work on this inside bracket. Okay, minus, this should be inside bracket because minus, then this will have bracket because the sign here is going to affect the operation that separated these two terms. So we're going to have x minus 5, then into the bracket of x squared, we have x squared, then plus this minus times this minus is going to be minus 5, right? So x squared plus 5x minus x is going to give us positive 4x. Then plus 25 minus 5, because minus plus is going to be minus. Plus 25 minus 5 is going to give us plus 20. So everything will be equal to 0. Now, what do you notice? 2 term is multiply itself to give us 0. So we're going to have two cases. So the case 1 is going to be x minus 5 equal to 0, or the second case is x squared plus 4x plus 20 equal to 0. Now, in the first case, when we take this negative 5 to the right hand side, become positive 5. So therefore, x is equal to 1 is equal to 5 is the first solution. Now, to get the remaining other solution, we're going to solve this quadratic equation because the highest power of the variable here is 2. And if you look at this quadratic equation, we can factorize this. So we're going to apply formula method. And in formula method, we have three unknown, which is a, b, and c, where a is the coefficient, the leading coefficient, which is 1 here. Then b is the coefficient of the middle term, which is positive 4, and c is the constant, and the constant here is 20, right? Now we record the quadratic formula. So we are looking for x, which is going to be equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, everything over 2a. So this is quadratic formula. Now we're going to substitute into this formula. So this is going to be x now will be equal to minus b is going to be minus 4 plus or minus square root of b squared is going to be 4 squared, which is 16, minus 4ac is going to be 4 multiplied by a multiplied by c. A is 1, c is 20. 4 times 1 times 20 is going to give us 80. So everything over 2a. 2 multiplied by 1 is going to give us 2 because a is 2. Now we're going to simplify further. X now be equal to minus 4 plus or minus square root of 16 minus 80 is going to give us negative 64. So everything all over 2. Now, as you can see, in the radical, inside the square root, we have a negative number. So when we take the square root of a negative number, it's going to give us a complex solution. Now, what do? We simplify further. So this is going to be the same as what? Negative 4 plus or minus. This can also be written as what? Square root of 64 multiplied by square root of negative 1. This is the same as negative 64. So everything over 2. Now, x will be equal to negative 4 plus or minus square root of 64 is 8. Then when you take the square root of negative 1, it's going to give us I, which is what? An imaginary number. So everything over 2. So are we going to stop at here? No, we need to simplify further again. So x will be equal to negative 4 plus, sorry, now we need to eliminate this 2 that is outside. And to do that, we are going to factor out 2. So we are going to factor out 2 here. Then we open bracket. Negative 4 divided by 2 is going to give us negative 2, right? Then plus or minus 8 divided by 2 is going to give us 4. I. So everything all over 2. So that these 2 can cancel these 2. So we are left with x now, which is going to be equal to negative 2 plus or minus 4i. So therefore, we can conclude that our first solution, which is x1 equal to 5, which is a real number, then the second solution, x2, is equal to negative 2 plus 4i, and the third solution, which is x3, will be equal to negative 2 negative 4i. So this is the third solution, the second solution, and the fourth solution. So this first solution is the real number, but the remaining two solution is the complex solution because of this imaginary number. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more video like this. Thanks.